name is Gabby and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here then welcome to my channel, and today's video is going to be my winter TBR. I'm going to be keeping this TBR to 4 books for many reasons. One of them is because a couple of them are pretty long, and the other is because I am in an unfortunate reading slump right now. I'm not getting a ton of reading done. So yeah, 4 books, we'll see how that goes. Their content warnings will be linked down below in the description, and let's go ahead and get into it. Book in this TBR is going to be Babel by R.F. Kuang. Babel follows our main character who has trained for years so that he can enroll in Oxford's Royal Institute of Translation, also known as Babel. Babel specializes in silver working, which finds the meaning lost in translation through magical silver bars. This is something that the British Empire has used to colonize and become unparalleled in power, which as a Chinese boy, this is something that our main character has really struggled with, and he soon finds himself caught in between Babel and a secret organization who is working to sabotage the silverworking. Did I originally plan to read this before reading the Poppy War trilogy? No. Am I going to go ahead and do that anyway? I mean, probably. I do want to get into this author at some point in 2024, so all of those things are probably going to get read eventually. Because I've heard so many amazing things, not only about this book, but also all of this author's works. And so far, I've just been hauling them without reading them, and I need to change that. And I do really want to read fantasy this winter, specifically dark fantasy, and this one definitely seems to have that covered. Next up is Court of the Undying Seasons by A.M. Strickland. This follows our main character who takes her secret love's place in their village's finding, where the chosen are taken away from the village and then sent to the vampire school, Castle Quartzheart. It is there where the humans either become vampires, spend their lives as human thralls, or die. Our main character, however, is determined to learn how to kill these vampires in order to get revenge for her mother, who was taken away by them. But as she begins to discover her new powers and new aspects of her identity, she comes across a string of murders that may be connected to something with lethal consequences for both humans and vampires. Kind of wishing that I put this in my October TBR, not gonna lie. I almost put it in that TBR, but I didn't, and now we're here. But this book honestly sounds amazing, from the vampires to the dark academia. I feel like I'm really going to enjoy just about everything about this. I'm also really excited for the atmosphere. And I know it's not October anymore, but I do kind of really want that October spooky atmosphere for this one. And there's also romance, which sounds like it could be really fun, especially combined with like everything else. Next up is The Empire of Gold by S.A. Chakraborty, which is the 3rd book in the City of Brass trilogy. The City of Brass follows our main character who has never believed in magic despite her own tricks that she uses as a con woman. However, when she accidentally summons a djinn during one of these cons and he tells her an extraordinary tale that includes the legendary City of Brass that she is bound to, our main character is forced to reconsider her beliefs. I am currently on page 108 of this book, which means that I have been roughly 12% through The Empire of Gold since February of 2022. Which I don't love, but that has always been my relationship with this trilogy, and even with the messy time frame, this has become one of my favorite trilogies just of all time. And it has never failed to just completely immerse me in whatever it has going on every time that I pick it up. And part of me has just never really wanted to lose that, and that's probably why I haven't finished it yet. And then the other part of me is just really scared for the characters. But this author does have another book out now that I want to read, and that was kind of the wake-up call that I needed to know that I really needed to get back into this. I'm still scared for the characters though. This book has a lot of potential to do some very real damage to me, but it'll probably be worth it anyway. And finally, the last book on this TBR is going to be The 100,000 Kingdoms by N.K. Jemison. This follows our main character who, after her mother's death, is summoned to the floating city of Sky to claim her royal inheritance, which she didn't know existed, but her throne is not going to be easily won, as she finds herself caught in a vicious power struggle with her cousins, and also closer to the secrets of her mother's death and family history than she has ever been before. Again, it's an adventurous dark fantasy, we love that, with also some court politics it sounds like, which I always tend to get really into. I read The City We Became by this author a little under a year ago at the time of filming this, and I did end up having some mixed feelings about it, but one of the things that I really loved about it were the descriptions of the settings. So I am very excited to read this and get whatever descriptions that I can out of this floating city, because the Sky City just just sounds so cool. N.K. Jemison is another author that I'm determined to get into this year, and I'm really looking forward to reading this and just seeing what it has to offer. And if nothing else, I need to like just exist in the city for a moment because I don't know, I just really feel like I need that. Okay, so that is it for my winter TBR. My 5-star predictions are going to be The Empire of Gold and Babel. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell, and answer the question that'll be around here if you want to do that, and hopefully I will see you here next time. Bye!